So this all started today. I was just looking at some comments on my YouTube channel, and someone left a comment. Blue Pac-Man 13 here had left a comment 3 weeks ago, as it says here, and indicating that faith, hope, and charity is a free Masonic motto that goes back centuries. So this person was suggesting that 1 Corinthians 13 that speaks of faith, hope, and charity, in the King James, faith, hope, and love in some modern versions, is actually reflective of Freemason or Freemasonic use. And I made a comment back here. I said it's interesting that the Spanish language, Valera 1602 Purificada, uses the Spanish word caridad, charity, and I was just asking, just putting it out there, do you suppose that Cipriano de Valera was also a Freemason? Perhaps Cipriano used a different word. It'd be interesting to check an ancient text. I had said, in any event, even if the Masons or the Mormons or Muslims, etc., choose to appropriate a verse from the Bible, such appropriation does not invalidate the Scriptures. So this person got back to me with an interesting comment here, and it made me think, as kind of interesting comment regarding the word couch. In the Bible, we have many instances of the word couch, and I think one of the first ones is in Genesis 49, where Jacob speaks of Reuben going up onto his father's couch, a kind of a cryptic reference to the fact that he defiled the bed of his father by sleeping with one of his wives. So anyways, this person said, Blue Pac-Man 13 said, all I know is that couches were not invented before or during 1600, but in 1895 by a fellow named J. Wellingdon Couch. So for the King James Version to have couch is historically inaccurate and impossible. Either someone is messing with the printing press, or it has been supernaturally altered, period. So that made me wonder about that. So anyways, I decided to take a look here. I've got a copy of the facsimile edition, 1611 facsimile of the King James. This is definitely Old English, or well, what I call Old English. It's not really Old English. Technically, it's Modern English, because Old English, I think, is up to about 1100. I was reading here in this introduction to the Webster's Dictionary. So anyways, an older form of Modern English. You can see some of the spellings are changed. You can see just even, for example, this word grave here, using a U, G-R-A-U-E. So a lot of times you'll see the U's changed to V's. A lot of times you'll see S's changed to F's. Here's an example of a J turning to an I that says Jacob, but it says it's using an I, and then it says blesseth. So the S's are F's in the 1600s. So this facsimile of the King James has copies of the original woodcuts. It's a reprint, as it says here, of the 1611 edition. So anyways, turning to Genesis, again with an F there, Genesis, chapter 49, verse 4, reading in this old King James, it says, unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch. So here we see the word couch, a older spelling with the E on the end. It's probably better like that. Anyways, you can see the word couch here, C-O-U-C-H-E. And so clearly this word was actually in use in 1611, this being essentially a photocopy of the older Bible, the 1611. You can see the Psalms, and so this is a good reference to get a sense of what the Old English looked like. Then as I said, I was reading in this introduction to my Webster's encyclopedic unabridged dictionary of the English language, just to get a sense of when Webster lived, and clearly it was in the 1700s at some time. We have a reference here to a letter written to Noah Webster in December of 1789. Right here, I'll just put my finger on it. It says here, Benjamin Franklin, writing to Noah Webster in December 1789, remembers his own native England dialect of the 1720s and 1730s. So you can see here that even judging by this introduction to the dictionary, certainly Noah Webster lived in the 1700s. So got me thinking about this word couch and the etymology of it. So this dictionary is quite useful in this respect because it does give the lineage, so to speak, of words. So we can see this word here, couch. So when Noah Webster wrote this dictionary in the 1700s, clearly there was the word couch was a word in the English language, a piece of furniture accommodating usually 2 to 4 seated people, typically having the form of a bench with a back. So kind of interesting. Now, going down here, you see the etymology, and I found this to be really interesting because you have even the origin of the word. It says here, let me see if I can get my finger on it, Middle English, couchen, from the Middle French, apparently, and Old French, cocher, something like that. I don't speak French. Old French, cocher, from the Latin, collocare. This is interesting to me because Spanish, of course, being a Latin language, does have the verb colocar, which is basically just like this, to put something beside something. So even the Spanish word colocar has the same great-great-great-grandparent word from Latin that goes down to the English couch. So anyways, just thought I would share that quickly. Let's see, one other thing really quickly here. I'll just see if I can pull this up. I was looking on Reddit here. Somebody's talking about this J. Wellingdon couch. Did he invent the couch in 1895? And basically, somebody gives an explanation here. It's a joke. There was no person. The word existed from the 14th century at least. So basically, turns out it's just a hoax. Somebody made this up. So just a reminder to myself and to others that we always need to be careful